What's up guys, Meredith with ExtremeTerrain.com, and today we are checking out the Oracle Integrated Windshield Roof LED Light Bar System in black, fitting all 2021 and newer Ford Broncos. Now if you are looking to gain some extra visibility at night, whether you live in a more remote area or you're taking your Bronco camping but don't love the look of traditional light bars or accessory lighting, this is going to be a great solution. This option by Oracle will offer you a very clean and factory looking mount that will blend very well with the hardtop, so you can avoid that traditional look while still getting the lighting performance that you may need out of your front end. Now while it does work very well with the hardtop, I do also want to mention that this will work with the soft top and be functional when the top is off, making it a great mod for any Bronco owner looking for those benefits. One of the best features out of this light bar is the fact that it simply looks like an extension of the factory top, but when you turn it on, it's going to light up the road or the trail in front of you, again being great if you don't like the look of just like the average mounting brackets or exposed lighting. Now while the housing makes it a bit more inconspicuous, it's also going to help with aerodynamics compared to other mounting solutions for light bars, not allowing any air underneath the light bar that has the potential to whistle or cause any annoying noise. Now this is not going to do that because it's going to be sealed to the front of the roof. Now the second biggest benefit here is the lighting. With the choices between amber and white lighting, the front of your Bronco will light up any road in front of you with 38-watt high-powered LEDs producing about 14,000 effective lumens with a projection distance of over 600 meters. That sounds super technical, but it simply means that this is going to have impressive and good-looking lighting for wherever you're taking your Bronco, whether you're on the street or you're on the trail. Breaking down the construction in two parts here, the housing or what's holding the light bars is going to be made of a tough polycarbonate material, which is normally used for light lenses, making it a good option for impact resistance and UV resistance, especially off-road. And considering that it's sitting up on top of the roof, this is going to be a great material for that to hold up over time. It will also have a matte black finish on top that will blend very well with your hard top or your soft top, but it is paintable with the right prep, prime, and paint if you do want to color match it. Now the lighting will also be tough with a polycarbonate lens on the front with the same properties of the housing, just with a crystal clear lens. It will have an aluminum housing on the back with thermal management to keep the LEDs running efficiently, and an IP68 rating, which is higher than the average, to protect the lighting on the inside from any water or dust and protect the housing or the lens on the inside from fogging up. While this does look like a custom mod, it is going to have a bolt-on construction, but I do want to mention that depending on if you want to use factory aux switches, a standalone switch, or wire it in yourself, you're either going to have to purchase either wiring harnesses or do a little bit of wiring, but we offer the wiring harness on our site, so they are easy to find, and we'll show you a wiring solution when we get to the install. This will cost you around $1,000. Now, light bars and off-road lighting solutions in general have a wide range of pricing, but compared to mostly all other options, this is unique in the fact that it has a very factory and sporty appearance in addition to some great lighting performance. It's also compatible with or without factory aux switches with these separate harnesses, and it gives you the option to switch between white and amber lighting on the fly for whatever look or function you need or want that day, making it a great investment if you want the extra function and a standout appearance. Install will be a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter here. Nothing too hard about this install, and it probably will take you about an hour or so to get everything bolted up and working properly. Now, in addition to needing the harnesses, I do want to mention that this will come with new windshield wipers in order to accommodate this on the windshield, but if you don't want to use these specific ones, you will need 15-inch wipers in order to clear it. However, at this point, we can head over to our shop and check out a detailed breakdown on how to get this onto your Bronco at home. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
For this install, you will need a ratchet, extension, 10mm socket, wire strippers and crimpers, one of the 2 sold separately harnesses. We are using the standalone harness for our install. If your vehicle does have the factory auxiliary switches, there is a adapter harness available for that, sold separately, which you will need to purchase. Some fuse tabs, butt connectors, and additional fuses, also sold separately, but easily available for pickup at your local auto parts store. What's up guys, today we're going to be installing a windshield LED light on our Bronco, so let's get started. So we're going to start things off under the hood. We're going to go ahead and get the main part of our wiring harness routed through our firewall and up through the cab so we can wire it to our light when we mount it. So we're going to go ahead and come to the right side of our brake booster here, and there is the main grommet here. We're just going to go ahead and push that back through, and that's going to give us an access point to send our wiring harness through the firewall into the cab. This is the easiest way. There are a couple other grommets you could go through. This is simply just straightforward and ready to go. So we'll grab our main part of our harness here. That's the one with the 4 wires. We're also going to send our switch through as well. So we'll go ahead and grab this. This is admittedly hard to see on camera, but if you come right back here by your brake booster, you will see the main grommet here. And it does pretty easily push back through the firewall into the cab. So once we have a good portion of that through, we can grab our switch. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing for that. Now we'll go through to the cab and we can begin pulling the rest of this harness through and get everything routed up to the top of our windshield so we can wire it into our light. So now we've come to the driver's side of our footwell here, and where your harness and switch is going to come through from that grommet we use is pretty much directly behind the hood latch release. So we're going to go straight back from there, reach up and you'll be able to feel it. I'm going to go ahead and pull that through. Now our switch only needs to come up to about here because we're just going to go ahead and mount it in an easily accessible spot. It has an adhesive backing on it. You can just stick it right up here. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll remove the cover, stick that in place. And that is simply for demonstration purposes. You can mount this however you'd like. This is just easy. So next, we're going to go ahead and grab the main part of our harness. We're going to go ahead and pull a good amount of our wiring through. Now you want enough to be able to go up the A-pillar and across about halfway to your windshield so we can wire it up. So make sure you have plenty of slack here. And it's alright, you can always pull it back through once we have the wiring and pull any excess slack out. So we have a good bit of that out. Now we're going to go ahead and pull our door gasket and middle panel out next. So we'll go ahead and pull this down just like so. It doesn't have to come all the way out, but you do want it to come down to about here. So now we'll go ahead and release this middle panel. So we're just going to pull back on it and release the tabs holding it in place. Go ahead and set that down here for now. So one other thing we're going to do is go ahead and pull our soft top back. If you have a hard top, you will need to remove the front panels. So we'll go ahead and pop that back now just so we have access to this upper pillar here so we can run our wiring through. So now we're going to go ahead and come back and grab our harness, and we're going to tuck it behind and come up through the top of this lower panel here. It's a pretty easy access point right behind, again, your hood latch release. And we'll reach through, grab it, make sure it comes through free and clear. There's little tight quarters back here. And pull this up through. Then what we're going to do is tuck our harness behind this panel here on our A-pillar. Now we don't have to remove it, we're simply just going to feed it into it, so you may need to pull it out just a hair. Again, you don't have to remove it. Then we're going to come up to about where this panel connects to the next panel here. We're going to take our harness. There is a gap in here that we're going to feed our harness through up to the roof. You should be able to reach through and pull your wires Now, you don't want to go yanking on them. You do want to be gentle with this. You don't want to damage any of your harness. Pull down slightly on this. And go ahead and feed that up through. Again, it is tight, but it will go. This panel goes back into its clip. Now we have this through. We can go ahead and reinstall our door gasket as well as our middle panel. So we'll go ahead and get our gasket back in place here. And we'll go ahead and reinstall this middle panel. We'll go ahead and make sure our panel goes behind our gasket and all of our clips line back up. So now we've got our light up top here and we're ready to go ahead and start wiring it up to our harness. So you may need to go ahead and strip a little bit more of this heat shrink off. So we've got our strippers and crimpers. Go ahead and expose a little bit more of that. Go ahead and again, expose a little bit more of that wire. Our red and our black are good. So now we're going to grab our butt connectors. We'll go ahead and crimp our connectors on so we'll get those set. Give them a nice tight squeeze. Make sure you have a solid connection. And we're just going to match the colors of our wires from our harness to our light side harness. Make sure you don't have any stray wires. You can remove all these sheath covers. So we'll go yellow to yellow. And then we'll go ahead and repeat the same process for the other 3 wires. So now we're going to have to go ahead and remove our accessory panel covers here. So we'll go ahead and push the button that's on the back. It's a little loose tab, and pop those off. We'll do that for the other side as well. Once we have those off, we'll go ahead and grab our 10mm socket and extension on our ratchet and go ahead and run these 10mm nuts off. And once we have those off, we'll go ahead and remove this plastic insert. Then you can go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Now that we have those off, we can go ahead and get ready to mount our light. So what we're going to do is actually pull our mounting tabs back a little bit like this. We're going to tuck our wiring under those tabs. Just going to help keep things clean. We can go ahead and flip our light over. We're going to line it up with those factory studs that our 10mm nuts were on. Then we're going to reuse those factory 10mm nuts. These are a little bit tricky to get back into place. Should just drop right down. Then we're going to go ahead and grab our 10mm socket again with our extension on our ratchet and tighten these down. And then we'll go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. So now we can go ahead and grab our mounting hole cover caps, and these are labeled to match up with the mounting holes they correspond with. They're also slotted so they go in a certain direction. So we'll go ahead and match that slot up. Go ahead and pop those in. B1, B2, and we'll do the same thing for the other side. So one thing to point out here as far as the harness routing goes, you'll notice this lays over our main gasket here. Now there is a little slotted portion right here where our light bar frame raises up, and that is exactly where you want your harness to lay. It will still create a seal. It's been manufacturer tested. So we'll go ahead and make sure that comes straight across at that slot. like so. Then we can go ahead and close our top back up, and that will seal it back properly, and we'll move into the engine bay and finish up our connections. So now we've come back under the engine bay to finish up our wiring. Now the switch that we installed under our dashboard there is going to control the main LED light. This light also has two accent lighting functions, which are going to be controlled by these wires, the yellow and the white. Now these, you have the option to install with whatever kind of function you want. You can install them, tap them in through your daytime running lights or your ignition switch or anything really, that's up to you. We're going to show you two easy options just to get them functional. So one of which we're going to run through our headlight fuse with a fuse tab, and then one of which we're going to run through an ignition source, so when the key is turned on, the lights will come on with that. So again, these are just simple options as demonstration. You can feel free to run these to whatever you would like to. So we've got our fuse tab here, and while these are not included with your kit, they are readily available at any auto parts store or hardware store. They're pretty easy to pick up. Just make sure you match the style of your factory fuses with the style of tap that you need. And then they usually come with a butt connector already on them. So we'll go ahead and insert our yellow wire here. Go ahead and grab our crimpers. Crimp this down. And these are a very easy, straightforward option if you don't want to dig in and do any crazy wiring or tap into your harness at all. So we'll do the same thing for our white wire here. Make sure you don't have any strays. All right, so we have those two on. So next what we're going to do is come to our fuse block here. Go ahead and pop this cover off. There's three little tabs. You push those in. These are finicky either way. Go ahead and pop that off. Now again, what we're going to do is tap one of our lights into our headlight fuse and the other into an ignition source. So our white wire is going to go to the headlights, so we're going to pull one of our headlight fuses out. Now you can use needle nose pliers or a fuse puller, whatever you have on hand. So we'll go ahead and pop that fuse out. We're going to grab our white wired fuse tab here. We're going to insert that factory fuse into the other slot on our fuse tab. Then we can go ahead and reinstall the tap in place of where the factory fuse was. Then we're going to do the same thing for our yellow wire, add an ignition source. Go ahead and reinstall that. Once we have both of these on, go ahead and make sure our wires are out of the way. We can reinstall our cover. Next, we need to go ahead and hook up our positive and negative battery terminal connections. So we'll go ahead and pop this cover off of our positive terminal here. Grab our positive wire. We're going to grab our 10mm socket on our ratchet and go ahead and remove one of these lugs. Make sure our negative's not touching. We'll go ahead and install that positive ring terminal. Get that nut right back on there. Tighten that down. We'll cover that back up. And we'll do the same thing for our negative over here. So we'll go ahead and remove this. Install this terminal. Tighten that back down. Now for the extra wires that are hanging out in your engine bay, you can tuck those up however you so choose. You can kind of make that your own. Just make sure they're out of the way of any hot or spinning parts. You don't want to damage your harness or anything in your engine bay. So this installation process was used using the standalone harnesses that is available sold separately for this light kit. There is another adapter harness available if you so choose to use your factory equipped auxiliary switches if your Bronco came with those. We just wanted to show the standalone method. There are other options for this. It's all up to what you want to do and what's available for your vehicle. So this kit also comes with a new set of wiper blades. These are shorter to allow for clearance because with this windshield light, it does drop down the top limit of your windshield. So we're going to need to go ahead and swap those out. So we'll go ahead and pull our wiper arm up. It's a very simple process. What you're going to do is pinch the two arms in here. We can pop that out, and then that wiper blade will come right out. And we're just going to hook the new one in just like the old one came out. Go ahead and make sure that sits in there nicely. Then take a little bit of fiddling. Should go snap in. And then you can do the same thing for the other wiper blade. Alrighty guys, that about wraps up our review and install of our Oracle Integrated Windshield Roof LED Light Bar System in black finish for your 21 to current Bronco. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Bronco, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.